Next, I would like to look at page 70 with you. So the first one says find the volume of the cone below. So we're going to come up to our first page, and we know since it's a cone, it is this formula right here, 1/3 pi r squared h. Yours is probably up here where it says volume of a cone. And I'm going to paste that in right there. From there, I'm going to follow the steps. So V equals, and then it'll be 1/3 pi, which is 3.14, times the radius here is 8. And we know since it says r squared, we know that that means radius times radius. So we do 8 times 8. And then the height, you have to be really careful with the cone because sometimes they'll give you the slant height to try to trick you. But for it to actually be the height, it has to be 90 degrees with the radius. So it's going to be the one that's straight up and down. So in this case, that's 15. So now when I put this in my calculator, I don't do the 1/3 first. Okay. So please, like, if you struggle with fractions, please follow what I'm saying right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am just going to bring that 1/3 down. And then I'm going to do on my phone calculator here 3.14 times 8 times 8 times 15. And I got 3014.4. And I'm going to type that in one more time just because I'm afraid I messed up. Yep. So I got 3014.4. But notice I haven't done anything with that 1/3 yet. Think about what you know about fractions. If you're multiplying by 1/3, that's the same thing as dividing by 3. So I like to wait until the very end. Now that I have my answer, I'm going to take it, and instead of worrying about the fraction 1/3, divide by 3 because that's going to do the same thing. And I get 1004.8. So V equals 1004.8. So again, divide by 3 instead of multiply by 1/3. Okay, so I just paused, so I don't even remember where I was at. So we have 1004.8, and then this is volume, and so we want to make sure we label it cubic inches. So that's going to be inches, and then with a 3, an exponent of 3. So then down here, we're going to find the height of this cone below if we know the volume. So this is going to be kind of like the one we did on the last page, where it's like we're solving an equation instead. We have our formula. I'm going to shrink that because I don't have as much space here to write. And then this time, we are going to, we know that the volume is 414. So 414.48. And then we have 1/3. We know that pi is always 3.14. And then this time we know that the rate, well, actually, if we look at this, the diameter all the way across there is 12. Do you see how they gave us the entire way across? So that's 12. So half of that is going to be 6. So times the radius, which is 6. We know that means 6 squared, so 6 times 6. And then we don't know what the height is, so we have an h. Now I'm going to shrink this so it all fits on one line here. It's really hard to look at with that, so hopefully I will have it formatted to where it'll automatically type this font for you, or type this size. So now, again, I am not going to worry about that 1/3 yet. I'm just going to worry about the 3.14 times, 3.14 times 6 times 6, and I get 113.04. So I have, this side is still the same, 414.48 equals 1/3. And then now I know that 3.14 times 6 is 113.04. And then I still have my h here. So now I have this 1/3 times 113.04. So this is where I was talking about before that instead of dealing with that fraction, if you're multiplying by a third, that's the same thing as dividing by 3. And so then you get 37.68. So when you're writing it on your third line, 414.48, that side hasn't changed yet. Now you have 37.68 times h. Now, here's where you have to solve your equation. This says 3768 times h. The opposite of times is divide, and I like to show that with making it look like a fraction. So I'm going to divide both sides by 37.68. Don't need that one underlined though. Then I'll use the space bar and then 37.68. And then when I do 414.48, 414.48 divide by, oh my goodness, 37.68, I get 11. So I would have 11 equals h. And so that tells you that the height is 11. So hopefully you feel good with using the formula for a cone.